So yesterday you guys just got done watching me interviewing the CEO of CALPRO Inspections Group, Glennen. And just like I promised you guys yesterday, today's video is going to be about me sitting down with Glennen from CALPRO Inspections, giving you guys some tips on home inspections, why it's important to understand not just the nitty gritty of it, but also understanding why it's important to get a home inspection. If you're a buyer, if you're a seller, doesn't matter. Doing a home inspection is gonna benefit you as a consumer. Take out your notebooks and let's begin this video. Enjoy. But man, I appreciate you coming out.
Yeah,
I know that you're carving out a time out of your schedule just to be with me today. So
it's a pleasure.
I'm not gonna take any of it for granted, man. So we're just gonna dive right into it.
Sure.
You're into home inspections.
Yeah.
Why? There's thousands of home inspection companies out there.
Sure.
What makes you different? What makes CALPRO different from any other home inspectors out there?
Oh, absolutely. So, I don't really know much about the other inspectors, but what I know about us is it's really important to me when we inspect a house. I want to make sure we want to treat our clients just like a family member. It's like I'm inspecting my own house. It's a big investment, so we want to be the most thorough inspection company in Sacramento. We owe that to our clients, and there are several other things that actually makes us stand out of the crowd. We have 8 inspectors and 2 on training, so we can always get you on the schedule. And all our inspectors go through a very thorough training process. I personally train them alongside with my trainer, and they have to go through a rigorous online course and exam process through the National Association of Certified Home Inspectors. We just make sure all our inspectors are qualified and thorough, and continuously educating themselves on new codes and new standards and things like that. So we have a great team that our clients can absolutely trust to do their home inspection. The best part about it is, as we all know, things just go wrong after people move in. Even my own house, I move in and 3 months later my sewer backs up. So things happen. Homes are old, even brand new homes. I thought, how can we protect our clients even after the inspection? So that's why about 3.5 years ago, CALPRO was the first company to include an extended warranty on the inspection. So after the buyer moves in, if something goes wrong, we have some limited warranties that will cover those. A perfect example would be our inspection includes a warranty called the Sewer Guard. That actually warranties your sewer line from the house to the street, which an inspector absolutely cannot see inside it because it's underground. And the inspector will run the water and do what they're supposed to do, and everything flows fine. But when the buyer moves in, toilet paper and paper towels and the garbage disposal and all the water fixtures are being run, and with all that water flow, if there are any roots or any issues with the sewer system, water can back up. Later to find out there's 10 feet of sewer line that has collapsed, and that's going to cost about $2,000 to fix. Perfect solution is actually CALPRO includes a warranty even though we can't see the sewer line. So after the buyer moves in and they find out that there's extensive repair that needs to be done or an item that we couldn't actually see, we have a $3,000 coverage on a policy like that. That was just one example, but there are several warranties that we include with our inspection. I really hated when we had a phone call from one of our clients saying that something broke or stopped functioning after the inspection. I almost felt guilty telling them that, sorry, it worked when we inspected it. I'm sorry, it's not working now. So including a warranty, I think, is absolutely necessary. I think every home inspection company in the country should offer some type of warranty or guarantee to their inspection. I find that very valuable to our clients, and as of now, I feel like we are the number one company who actually includes something like that and provide protection way past the inspection process.
That's great, Glenn. So, how long does this home warranty, extended warranty that you're talking about, how long does it last?
Yeah, so I'll name some of the warranty, actually all the warranties that are included. So the sewer guard covers the underground sewer line and water line up to 90 days from the day of the inspection. Then we also have a warranty for mold. Mold is something that you just don't want to find in your brand new house, and unfortunately mold is something that can come anytime depending on the environmental conditions inside the house. So if the inspector does not find mold, and after the client moves in, up to 90 days, if they find any mold, there's a $2,000 remediation coverage on that. So that's for 90 days. Then we also have a appliance and structural and mechanical warranty. Anything major structural or any of the mechanical systems fail, that's for 90 days. And one of our favorites is our roof protection plan. It's called a Platinum Roof Protection Plan, which is after move-in, if the roof leaks, we cover up to $4,000, and so that's a 5-year coverage. So 4 years from now, we actually do have clients call in, of course, during the winter time when it's heavy rain. A roof, sometimes even a roofing contractor wouldn't be able to identify a leak unless it was actually raining and there was a leak. And sometimes a leak might not happen one season because it didn't have the right amount of rain, but then 2 or 3 years down the road it could start leaking. So when that happens, you can rest assured that we have coverage for you.
So up to 5 years for the
That's
roof.
up to 5 years, yes.
That's great.
I also want to add that we also offer a full home warranty through residential warranty services. When we inspect a property, you're not only getting 12 months, but you're actually getting an extra 6 months of coverage, up to 18 months for the price of 12.
That's awesome. So that's the value you guys
Yes.
bring to the consumers.
Absolutely.
Now, you probably work primarily with a lot of agents and realtors, right?
Yes.
Because of course they're the one that has the clients, and then they order the home inspections, etc.
Sure.
Now, what kind of value do you bring to the realtors now? Because I know that bringing value to a consumer is a lot different from bringing value to a realtor.
Right.
How do you separate yourself from that?
Absolutely. Just like we bring, obviously, everything that we do is value to our clients, but we have several things that actually benefits the agents, especially when you get in contract. You have a very short time period to get your inspections and other things done. So we actually have a guarantee on our scheduling. We'll guarantee that we'll schedule an inspection within 24 hours because we're staffed correctly. Well, the main thing is that an agent refers a inspection company to their clients, and they can comfortably refer CALPRO because the amount of value we add to our clients, the agents can know that we're going to do a great job for their clients, and end of the day, all of our objective is to make our clients happy because they are our referral source. So if an agent refers us to their clients, we're going to make sure we do a great job for their clients, who will in turn recommend the agent to their family and friends.
What areas do you guys cover?
Yeah, so we cover Sacramento and Placer mainly, but in the last few years we have actually just tried to broaden our service a little bit into more into Nevada, and we're actually planning on doing more business in Yolo and Solano, and possibly even into the Bay Area. We do some business out there, but not a lot. But we would love to have more of a presence in those areas.
What's stopping you guys from working out there right now? I mean, it seems like you guys have the manpower for it.
Sure, we do have the manpower. We have not marketed in those areas that much. because of the distance. We have done some marketing. So basically, we're a small business, and we don't do any radio advertising or TV commercials and things like that. So there are many real estate companies and consumers who don't really know about CALPRO Inspection Group. So our goal is to just create more brand awareness in those areas, so we can actually expand out of our current area.
What are some of the ways you guys are branding out there then, or thinking about?
Yeah, so we will have marketing personnel. We really like to get involved in the real estate community, so associations and office meetings and social gatherings and community events that real estate professionals organize and make possible. So we will have marketing personnel get involved in things like that. We also advertise on Facebook and Google. So
you mentioned you guys do roof, mold, and general home inspections. Mm-hmm. What about pests?
Yeah, so
pests, termites.
So all the services that we do in-house would be the general home inspection. We inspect the roof, pool and spa, environmental inspection such as mold, air quality testing. We do not offer termite inspections in-house, but we have partnered with a very reputable company in this area to get that inspection scheduled and done at the same time as the home inspection. But one of our other goals also is to actually open a termite inspection division in-house, because we really like to have control over the services that we offer. Although we trust and know that a third party will do a great job, we can't guarantee it 100%, but when we do it in-house, we can actually provide that guarantee, and that is what our company is about, guaranteeing our work. We also inspect underground sewer lines. We do a camera inspection for that. Additional inspections we can schedule when the need arises is septic inspections, well testing, chimney inspections, asbestos testing, lead-based paint testing, VOC testing, radon. Some of the things that don't come up that often, but when it does, we can coordinate that and get that scheduled for our clients.
So for a homeowner out there that's looking to maybe sell their home or buy a potential home, why is a home inspection important in general, like for them? Because a lot of people that I come into contact with, a lot of buyers and sellers, sometimes they look at it more at the costly side of, I don't want to spend money on the inspection because I'm gonna do the walkthrough already.
Sure.
So why should I hire a home inspection? What would your tip be towards those?
Well, absolutely. It's absolutely critical. If you're buying a house, you absolutely need to get it inspected. If I were to buy a house today, I would not go. Some homeowners, they're pretty savvy with construction and things like that, and you think you can walk around and point out a few things that's wrong with the house. That's absolutely incorrect. As an inspector, even myself, I can't just walk around and do just a quick visual inspection, because there's so many things that behind the scenes that you have to look at, and it has to be done by a trained professional. You wouldn't buy a car not knowing that it's a certified pre-owned car, right? Like a Carfax report or something. You wouldn't just go out and just look around the car and not even drive it. There's so many systems. We look at over 850 different things in a home inspection. So it's a very in-depth process. And sometimes we don't find much in a house, but sometimes we find things that's going to cost tens and thousands of dollars to actually fix. So it's a big risk to take. So I wouldn't take that risk. And when you are actually looking at pricing for home inspections, it's definitely okay to price shop, but I would not definitely go with the cheapest possible.
Why is that?
Because anyone can just go out and get a home inspection company started. There's no licensing requirement in California, so years of experience has a lot to do with that. And sometimes we do inspections and our buyers are general contractors. Just because you're a contractor or have construction experience, it does not make you. It does not qualify you to be a great home inspector who will actually find critical defects. When you're hiring a home inspector, make sure they have years of experience, and make sure you don't get the home inspector who is the cheapest person in town. Like they say, you get what you pay for. So definitely price shop, but go in a mid-range or higher range with an inspection company. Typically, who charge a little more is because they go above and beyond minimum standards, and a lot of home inspection companies stick to only the association standards, which are so minimal. And association standards, for an example, it's not required to open an electrical panel cover. There's no way you would know an electrical defect if you actually don't open the panel cover. So if you're looking at the cheapest inspector, you might be hiring the guy who wouldn't even open an electrical panel, who would spend an hour and 15 minutes on an inspection, where we spend about 2 to 2.5 hours for inspection, and we go way above and beyond our inspection standards.
That's good. That's good. Now that's a benefit for a buyer, right? To find out what's wrong with the house in depth. What about for a seller's perspective? Because I hear people say all the time, like, oh, I'm not gonna do the home inspection because I'm selling the house. That's the responsibility of the buyer, which is true to an extent. But why would a seller want to consider a home inspection even before selling it, putting it on the market?
There are pros and cons. I think the only con for a seller to get a home inspection would be the cost, which is I'll explain how you can offset that cost. I would highly recommend every seller doing a home inspection. Let's say, for example, you did not do an inspection and you got into contract with the buyer, and the buyer hires an inspector, and the inspector finds
hires you.
The buyer hires us to do the home inspection, and of course we're going to go do a very thorough inspection, and we find so many different issues with the house, and possibly the buyer might want them fixed. Some things can get very complicated. Some of the repairs, it could take a long time. Now you're working with a very tight time contingency period. You have 17 days inspection contingency. The buyer gets the report 8 days into it. You have 9 days left to do $8,000 to $10,000 worth of repairs. That's a tight time frame to find someone to do it. And sometimes even if you find someone, usually they up their price about 50% to maybe even 100% more than what it would normally cost. But if you had done a home inspection, you would already know these issues ahead of time. You would have plenty of time if you do decide to get these defects repaired. You have time to price shop and find the contractors. And now you have a house in tip-top shape that does not have any major defects, and I really think you could probably market the house for a little higher than you originally even thought. So that offsets your cost for a home inspection.
I think home inspectors have a bad rep because they're always known as, like, you go everywhere, you search this up, and it's always, every time when you hire a home inspector, they're gonna guarantee find something. Let's say a seller hires you, or even a buyer. Is it biased? Like, do you guys, because you're working for the seller, you're gonna be biased towards the seller, so you're gonna make the house look great? Like, when you go in, you're gonna be like, oh man, even though there's drywall, I'm gonna ignore that because I'm working for the seller. Or when you're with the buyer now, do you expose everything? How does CalPro become ethical in that room to
absolutely.
where they're not biased?
Right. Yeah. I mean, we definitely don't take sides. What we're after is, like, we want to protect our clients' interests. So our inspection would not be any different if we did it for a seller versus a buyer. But again, we are very systematic about how we present issues to our clients. Even as a buyer, I'll just give an example. Chia, let's say one of your clients just found a house, and they absolutely love it so much, and they're like, okay, this is our dream house. They've paid for the appraisal, and they have done all these other costly, whatever that they have to do to, maintain their contract and buy this house. And the last thing you want is for an inspector to come into a house
and kill that dream.
And just kill that dream. Absolutely, yeah. Sometimes, an issue that's not even there could be presented as a major issue, which could be a very inexpensive or an issue that can be easily dealt with. So we're very mindful of that. Yes, the buyers and sellers hire us to find every defect and make some recommendations on how to go about that. So we actually really take our time and go out of the way to actually make things very clear to our buyers and sellers. That comes with experience and a good understanding of all the systems and components in a house, because small things that can be an easy fix can be a dream killer, or it can sound really scary, or it can actually deter buyers away from actually buying a house when they really don't have to.
Like mold.
Right.
I know that. I totally know what you mean, because there's times where home inspector will say, oh yeah, there's mold in the house, and the client automatically says, okay, I don't want it no more because there's mold.
Right.
But technically every house has mold.
Of course.
It's a small percentage of mold that you can still breathe and live under.
Right.
Even a brand new house has a small percentage of mold. But
absolutely.
But when it gets to a certain point to where that's why you get it tested, right?
Right.
To where now when you test the mold and it is a high percentage of, yes, you need to cure or replace, repair, then that's when you could start to think about finding a new home if the other party is not willing to repair it.
Sure.
Something along the lines of, even a dry rot, right? Like people will look at, because the terminology I think is what scares a lot of people. Is they hear fungus from a dry rot on the wood, even they're like, oh my god, there's fungus. No, it's just a terminology. It's just dry rot. You just replace that 2x4 and it's good.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I mean that's where it comes important that you explain and in a clear and understanding way to clients, because home inspectors think in home inspector lingo, and you have to know that a first-time home buyer, they don't, when you hear rot and it's in your house, that sounds really scary. But for example, if we find something that has dry rot, maybe a house is built with wood siding, and usually you'll find dry rot towards the end of the wood. All you have to do is cut the piece of wood out, put a new piece of wood in. That's it. It's not gonna make
how much
the
does
house
that cost?
fall apart.
How much would that wood cost?
I mean, on average, absolutely, it's like $25 for a whole sheet of wood, and it's a less than $100 fix. But a comment like that could actually really scare a buyer if you don't really explain that. I want to take you back to that mold thing. So, EPA regulation is, if you have mold in your house that has grown on the surface and it's in a 10 square foot range, a homeowner can easily wash it off, clean it, and dry it with water and soap. So yeah, when people talk mold, it's like, if we did find mold in a small area, that's exactly what we would recommend to our clients. Unless we find a bigger source that's causing the mold, which we always do if we run into an issue where we find mold, then that would be a different case. But in most of our inspections, we find a little bit of mold in pretty typical locations, and our recommendation to our clients would be to just clean it up. It's really not that scary. Again, depending on the conditions. So
for sure.
Generally, it's
we're not saying that mold is good. Of course, mold is not good, but a small percentage of mold, even a small percentage of dry rot, is normal. That's why they call it normal wear and tear.
Right.
And if the owner took the responsibility of maintaining their home when it's due, like things like that wouldn't happen. Like when you see that your paint is chipping, paint it, re-sand it and paint it. It'll prevent dry rot from occurring.
Absolutely.
So I think sometimes homeowners, first-time homeowners, don't understand the responsibility behind becoming a homeowner, and they expect every home to be like a new model home, right? Or they watch too many HGTV where everything's brand new, right? Absolutely. And that's just not the case in the reality world, right? There's so much maintenance that goes behind owning a home, and there's so much more than just the terminologies. When you hear mold or rot or fungus, don't get scared away. Like, get educated on, okay, is this a big issue or not?
Right.
And again, don't just go off of like your online research. Talk to a local professional.
Right.
Talk to the person that inspected it and that called that item out, because most likely they're gonna be the one that's gonna be able to explain that to you better. So like, if anybody was interested in hiring CalPro to go and do inspections for them, whether they're a seller or a buyer, how could they reach out to you guys?
Oh, it's very easy, Chia. We have an office staff, and you can reach us at 800-474-3540. Also, you can reach us on the web at www.calprogroup.com.
That's awesome. You guys don't have a local facility here, right? Like an actual building to where you just do walk-in, nothing like that?
No, actually we don't. That's a very cool thing about us. We're all like, all our team is pretty much like self-employed. They never have to come into an office to report, or they have a lot of independence. That's why they actually really love their job.
Okay.
And we all work remotely, but you definitely know who we are, and you know where to find us.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, man. Well, thanks.
Yeah, good to see you, Chia. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, it's good. Check him out.
All right.
So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video that me and Glenn shot for you guys, just to give you guys some tips on home inspections, what you need to know, the basics, all that. And what I love most about what Glenn says, when you're shopping around, like, he highly encourages you to shop around for quotes, but do not settle on just the cheapest quote, because sometimes you get what you pay for. So just like what Glenn says, you hear that a lot, and it's true. You know, you get what you pay for. So do yourself a favor, save yourself the headache, and don't just settle for the cheapest rate. Call around, ask how long the inspector's been inspecting homes. Look to make sure that they're licensed, so that way you, on the other hand, could be warranted for your work. And I love how CalPro is able to offer all their consumers an extended home warranty of up to 90 days after the initial inspection on the home. So that way, with you coming to your home, you can have peace of mind knowing that you're being taken care of. And if something wasn't right from the beginning, CalPro is going to take care of it. So thank you guys so much for watching this until the end. Remember, if you haven't subscribed yet, I have videos like this coming up in the future, and I upload daily content like this just to entertain you guys, educate you, and inspire you guys about the process of buying and selling real estate. So if you haven't already, consider subscribing. And I'm gonna end the video here. Hopefully you guys enjoy. If you guys did, thumbs up. Let me know in the comment section if you've ever used a home inspection company before, and if you have, what was your experience? I would love to be able to go down there and continue on this conversation with you guys. But I will let you guys go now. Thank you so much. Peace out.